And now, Houston, Texas, make some noise because the time for talk is over. It's time to unleash the fury.
I mean, you got the early 2000s stripper daddy hat on right now.
That's right.
It's a good look. It's a good look.
My Kango days.
Hey, man! Shout out to Howlerhead, hooking up the bucket.
Robles, Houston is on fire soon. And I'm coming to put out
That's
the
two big
fire.
boys.
That dude looks like a cop, huh?
Yeah, Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diego. Is that
Payne versus Despain.
How
work
many
with you?
guys you work with look like that?
Like a cop.
What is the deal with that? What is the deal with if
The
you're
mustache?
a cop or a firefighter? Like, I know it used to be part of like dress code. Like, you had to be clean shaven, but you could have a mustache.
Yeah.
But now it just seems more like I guess some departments are still clean shaven with a mustache too, right?
Yeah, there are. There's some clean shaven ones, but they're trying to.
You have to have a sleeve
They're
to
trying
have
yeah.
any facial hair though. You
What
gotta have
about
the sleeve
like
to go along with
Andrew
it.
Craig? That's not a policeman's mustache.
Andrew Craig has a hippie mustache.
He has a firefighter mustache.
Yeah.
Is that what Bruce Whitehead is?
I think we all know what kind of
Whitehead
mustache
for sure.
Yeah.
Andrew has. That's a porn mustache.
That's a
guys.
porn stash.
That
for
is
sure. Yeah.
textbook porn.
Andrew
mustache.
Craig looks like he could be in porn.
Oh yeah, man, 100%.
Probably a lot of gay porn.
Gay porn,
I would
man.
think.
I mean, possibly.
Fan bus.
I
Could
wouldn't
you
know,
just
but, you know.
see Andrew with just some other dude just
Just
giving it to
slaying.
him?
No, I couldn't.
Just
Or-
slaying, right?
or Andrew just getting slayed. Like,
No, I couldn't see that either.
I don't know.
I
I
couldn't.
mean, this is why I shouldn't say porn on the podcast because Rich is going to take it,
like Andrew would.
That-
just
I guess so,
exactly
yeah.
like Andrew would.
I couldn't see it.
Just-
Just can't picture it.
Every now and then
Yeah.
you see his face
I
just
can't-
buried in the
I
couch and
won't-
his hair.
I refuse to
I
picture
refuse
it.
to.
His hair's flopping around every now and then.
We need to get him a bucket hat.
Andrew Craig?
Yeah.
Oh, he'd look good in that.
Show off that little howler bucket, Diego.
Hold on.
Show 'em what you're working with. You see that shit?
It's hard to.
Get that monkey spirit.
He likes that hat.
Hey, you been leaving that on as you get the massage?
No.
Does that stay
comes
on?
off?
He
No,
puts
I
it
like-
on whenever
I
he
like my
leaves,
hat.
though.
Was it- I
He
like
wears
my
it whenever he's leaving. He pulls it real low down to his ears. Yeah, like that. No hablo. No hablo.
My name is Eric.
Like, why do you smell like all the oils? Like, I don't understand why
It
you
smells
smell
like lavender here in the
like-
studios today.
Like every oil you could possibly smell is what you smell like.
Here at DNA Studios Plus, they're expanding, so they're now DNA Studios
brought it.
Plus.
Is it?
you have
Do they call
back
it
up?
plus?
Yeah, they added Plus.
added it.
Sam
missed-
stopped by this morning.
Yeah, you missed the whole. They're opening up in Dallas. The studio's opening in Dallas as well.
All right.
They're expanding.
All right. Brian, is Brian moving to Dallas or what?
All that business Fury FC giving.
That's what it is. Hey, you win a Sammy.
Hey, what do I get out of the deal?
What they win? A Sammy? A slammy?
Telly. A telly.
Telly.
A telly.
I want a slammy,
A
baby.
slammy. Hey,
Sound
man.
like a
That's what I
sandwich.
think.
I'm going to go buy one of those off of WWE Shop and put it right here and give us our own award.
Speaking of awards, man, we've had some amazing shows lately.
Yeah.
So
we're on a
when's the last show we
crazy
did?
run. The
Last
last
week.
one was
Fought
Galveston.
like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
was-
Fury FC 82.
All right, so we
Oh,
had
I'm sorry.
Galveston.
No, that was a Challenger
Oh, the
Series
last
6.
show we talked about.
Yeah, what's the last show we
Golly,
talked
yeah,
about?
who knows? That was like a month ago.
We didn't talk about.
You know what?
Moran's win.
It probably doesn't matter. Let's work our way backwards. Let's go from this week and we'll go the week before. So we just had Galveston, like you said. Hey, look, first trip down to Galveston, we're
Amazing.
fucking going back.
Yeah,
We are.
what a crowd.
I have a note on my calendar today because I got an email from them this morning saying thank y'all for a great show. We can't wait to have y'all back.
Yeah, they
Everything
were
was flawless.
They were very impressed by what we did down there. I don't know who's run there before, but like, hey, this is like nothing we've ever seen before. You guys are legit.
And
I
the
don't know, what
staff
did you
at Moody
expect,
Gardens
really?
was amazing.
So
Oh,
we
yeah.
were the first
Great to work
MMA
with.
show there.
At Moody Gardens?
Yeah, they've done some Battle of the Badges, which Diego, I think you were part of those out there, right?
Yes, I'm still part of.
Okay.
But they said that the Battle of the Badges was there and then they moved to San Luis.
St. Louis, yeah, correct.
Why y'all didn't like Moody Gardens?
I don't know.
You racist?
Oh man, Diego's trying to.
Right.
Diego just hams up.
He's trying to
We
plead the
put him
fifth right
in the
now.
spot. He goes, "Oh fuck, I don't know."
Oh, I don't know. Whenever he knows the real reason, you could say, "Oh, I don't know."
It's always
it gets progressively higher pitched. Like, ooh, I don't know.
You must have been all kind of trouble as a kid.
Yeah.
Every time, it's like, did you steal that? I don't know, Mom.
Diego, I know you're lying.
I can
You take that candy bar back to the store right now.
Diego's like,
You put that magazine back on the shelf.
hey, so shout out to Macario and Altum.
Oh,
Was
bro.
that
What a banger, man. I put that up on there, the pedestal with
top
Vergara
5.
and Silva, man. Yeah, that was a war,
That's
man.
gotta be top 5, if not top 3, all-time Fury fights. Like that was amazing.
Yeah, they did good for that. For Altum to barely be coming back, it's been what, 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
Dude didn't skip a beat.
And then Macario taking the fight on short notice.
Macario just being the savage he is. Did you read?
know,
Did you
man.
read what Macario posted on his IG? He's like, "Hey, we prepared for a leg locker. We prepared for a grappler." Altum didn't even threaten a takedown.
He stood and threw hands.
His hands looked so,
Man.
and his kicks looked so crisp. He looked phenomenal. And so much changes over the course of time. Just 3 years ago, we were looking at, Altum possibly fighting for the title at 145 with only 4 fights.
Right.
And the way that the company has grown and the brand has grown, we now have these expectations of, 10-plus wins to be able to get a title
That kid's
shot.
going to be a problem.
Who are we going to match him up with that doesn't
kid-
have 10-plus
Yeah.
wins? Like
He doesn't care, though.
He doesn't.
He
doesn't,
does not
man.
care.
I really hope. I know
I
that
wanna see him
the,
fight Lohan.
the turnaround will be faster this time,
Ooh, that would
dude.
be-
That
him
was
and
what,
Lo-
that's
that
the
was
fight that was
original
supposed to
main event.
happen. That was the
wanna
original
see-
main event.
I want to see him fight
There's
Lohan.
so many good. dude, what-
Yoham got injured in camp and had to, pull out.
There's so many good fights
unfortunately.
out there for him right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dude, what, him and Yadier?
Yeah, I want to see that too, man.
Hey, him and Justice Torres.
Yeah.
I mean, who? Like, there's
And
so
Aswell?
many. Woo! Hey, there's so many good fights at 45.
I'd like to see that, but I feel like he's got a couple of fights before he gets Aswell.
Yeah. I think him and Lohan would be good.
Him
Oh,
and Lohan,
yeah.
same, close to the
100%.
same records. I think that'd be great.
actually, Loham's coach hit me up yesterday and asked to put him on the November 5th card.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to send him Altum, though. I pitched him Austin Luchin.
I think I would listen. I think we should start the year up, 2024, because we're already looking at like the end of the year stuff.
Well, I know Altum's going to want to fight before next year.
He'll probably want to fight in December.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably shoot for February or March, Moody Gardens, to go back next year.
Yeah,
That way he can fight December, and then he can maybe we do a spring break.
And
show.
man, he
Like the open of spring break.
almost sold the house out by
Oh,
himself.
yeah, he did, bro.
And that
It
crowd
was electric.
was so
So
amazing.
electric.
So I run down in between I'm taking pictures and stuff on the walkouts, and the length of that walkout was pretty cool for us. And I'm
It's like WrestleMania 4.
Eric,
Trump
Diego,
Plaza.
from the moment the show starts, I'm complaining. Like I'm finding, but that's my job. I'm finding things that are wrong. And I'm like, man, this is too dark. This isn't going to look
That's
right.
what makes a flawless.
Diego,
event.
it was phenomenal. Like
it was great.
it looked amazing. The length actually worked out to be. There was so many people crowded around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you could feel the energy as you're walking through there.
And it looked great from inside the cage, looking through that door. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, just the line,
How about when
row
Omar
of
Halal
people.
won and jumped up on that
Are
cage and
you
everybody went crazy?
shitting me?
Yeah.
How long had Omar been out? He'd been out of Fury for a while.
He's done some
Couple of
kickboxing,
years.
right? Yeah.
He's been going for a while too.
He said that's another featherweight,
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean,
and he wants to stay busy too.
this Galveston card.
Which sounds like
whenever,
Diego almost right there. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, whenever you go into a new city, you
You know
you really
say?
don't know what you're gonna get.
No, you
And
don't.
even though like we saw ahead of time that the ticket sales were pretty solid, you still don't know what the crowd's
we
gonna
were
be like.
we were 5 weeks out with no tables left.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Josh Altum took the majority of them,
Right.
But then you still had some Amis, Hayden, Jonathan Kinski. Like those two guys are from out there too. Then you
Yeah.
had Omar, and then shout out to Joe Rivera. He runs his gym out there,
Right.
and he took tickets as a coach and said,
Yeah.
"Man, I want this event to be successful because I want y'all to come back to our area." And he was out there hustling tickets to everybody. Then his brother, shout out to that TexCon, Concrete.
Yeah.
Like he sponsored the event and bought 2 tables and solid, man. It was solid. Like everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
They all pitched in, man, and helped make a great event. Very
Hey, this
grateful.
this
And we
next
are going
fight
back.
is a for me. I think it was like the feel good moment of the night. For those who don't know, like Cameron Graves has been around for forever,
He has.
and
He has.
he was so young when he kind of came on the scene. He was this jiu-jitsu wizard. Remember how like he was the gi guy, like he was the stud out of Team Took, was going everywhere, and then it was like he transitioned over to fighting, and it wasn't. He just did. It wasn't like he had this big plan, but he got over to it. And he's had some ups and downs, man. Former champion at Fury. He's fought everywhere. He's fought for some other promotions as well. And he had kind of run into some times to where, as a friend, you kind of sit back and you're like, hey, man, like, what's our goal here? What are we doing now? Like, you maybe reassess. You're getting to start to be on the wrong side of 30. You know, what are we looking at here? Dude, the performance he had against Tejada, who's a killer, who's an absolute
Tejada's
savage.
another featherweight up
Yeah.
and coming prospect.
Tejada is an absolute savage. From his walkout to the part he gets in there, he's the most like aggressive guy. And Cameron handled that so well and just pieced him up from the beginning of the fight through. Cameron looked like a revived.
That's
like,
the
really
Cameron
fun
Graves that we all know. That he's we haven't seen him in a while, like
Right.
with that form. I ran into him after the show. I guess we lived nearby. We stopped off and got something to eat and ran into each other at the restaurant and talking, briefly with him. I was like, man, that's the guy that we know and love. And he's kidding around, attributing it to the new nickname and stuff. Like, nah, that's Cameron Graves.
Kamikaze.
Yeah, don't worry about the nickname, man.
Who do we give him next?
Man,
Like, you got to think, Cameron's a 20-fight vet now? Is he
Yeah.
20 fights in?
Yeah, I don't know who
close
we
to
give
what?
him
He's
next.
29.
I think he.
His age?
Yeah,
What is he?
I
I know he's getting
now.
close to 30.
I
thought he was
think
30.
I want to say he's 30 or 31.
Yeah,
Is
think
he?
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'll tell you right now. Yeah, he's 11-7 now, 29 years old. Yeah, so
18 fights.
actually he'll be 30 in just a few, like 2 months.
All right,
11
we
and
gotta
7, so-
we got to get him a belt quick or something, man.
15
he's about
and
to
7
hit that number
looks
like Rich
better
was
than
saying. He's
11
almost
and
30.
7, so I'm thinking like he's got to pop off 4 more in a row.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pop off quite a few in a row if
Yeah.
that's what he wants to continue to do.
I
As
think
well.
it is.
I
That's
think
always been the goal, and Cameron's the type of guy that's not going to stop
Dude,
until he's there.
I'll tell you now, the Cameron that we saw in Galveston is going to be a handful for anyone on the roster.
agree.
Let alone the fact that he didn't even go to the ground, man. Which is still his strength.
I still feel like he's a small featherweight.
He is, but he's
Like
lean.
you put him next to Arian Young.
Yeah, but he's so lean. Like, how do you
Arian's
get
fucking-
how do you get him down to
Well,
30?
yeah, how do you cut that much weight when you're that lean?
Yeah.
So,
Kind of just is what it is.
hey, also Christian Strong, Francisco Obando. Look, Strong may not have the game that everybody wants to see because he's so wrestling heavy, but his ground and pound is ferocious. Like, and his hands are getting so much better. Like, that was a really good performance from him against a very scrappy fighter in Francisco Obando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, at the same weight class, I don't know if there's a fighter in MMA with a faster shot than Elijah Smith. His
looked good too,
entries
man.
to his doubles and his singles are absolute lightning. And to take out someone like Dimas Chapas, who is a very experienced amateur, and now coming here 2-1 as a pro, 3-2 now as a pro,
2-2 now.
but extremely well-rounded, comes from a great camp. Props to Elijah Smith, man. He looked great coming off his first loss of his career. We also had the Aaron Gomez and Armando Zuniga fight. Super fun fight. Joseph Aguilar and Tony Figueiredo did not happen. Joseph Aguilar tore his hamstring in the back. Talk about just a freak accident,
crazy,
injury
man.
to have happen.
That happened like as we were going live. Like I was
Yeah.
getting ready to come back out, and everybody in the back was like kind of scrambling. Like, hey, the guy fighting Tonio Figueiredo is off. It's not happening. And that was, I think, Joe had told me that. Like, if you're telling me that, I know that that's not just speculation.
Yeah.
So I ran and found you guys, to let you know it was up.
One of those fun moments where
Yeah,
Eric and I are
wow.
getting pulled off to the side. Hey, this is happening. So we
What?
gotta
We
run to
just
the back
lost
real
a
quick.
fight
Yeah.
right as we're going live? Card subject to change for a reason, right?
Shout out to Tony Figueiredo who moved some tickets as well, so we brought him in there
He
to
did
talk a
everything
little bit.
perfect, man.
Yeah,
that kid,
man.
I felt really bad for him.
Same here. I was going to say,
Pro
I felt
debut, and
terrible for him.
Yeah.
got his medicals done quick, made weight, sold tickets. He did everything the right way.
Yeah.
He set himself up for a perfect pro debut, and it.
Well, we'll
Rich
get,
offered
we'll
to
get,
step in and fight him, but the commission was like, nah.
You're like you're way too fat. But shout out to Tony. We'll get him back in the cage soon, and fast recovery as well to Joseph Aguilar. And then what about the breakout performance of the night? I thought, man, Gino Morelli, not just a wrestler, guys. His ground and pound absolutely destroyed Slate Passmore.
Slate looked like a gamer too, man. Like,
Yeah, he did.
He didn't want to he wasn't pulling from this fight or stepping
No.
back for anything. Like, he was ready to go.
Went all 3
Shout out
rounds.
to him,
I
man,
mean,
'cause
dude,
there's not-
shout out the MVP of that fight. I guess probably Cutman Joe
Yeah.
for keeping Slate in that fight because, dude, his forehead was split wide open.
There's not a lot of guys lining up to fight Gino Morelli.
No, can't say
You
I
know,
blame
so to
him, man.
have Slate do it, man. Shout out to him.
He
We'll be
got-
bringing him back
He also
quick.
had a fan club out
Yeah,
there.
he did. Yeah, Slate did too.
You know, and Gino broke his hand in the first round.
Yeah.
What?
And it was still a fun performance from him. And it was kind of, it always opens my eyes a little bit to how much we have grown to when you see some of the people who comment on the videos.
Yeah.
The first comment on the video was Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Yeah.
Thompson,
First
yeah.
guy to comment on, hey, congratulations, champ, and stuff like that. It's amazing. Moving on to our amateurs, we got a new 135 champ. Fellas, what y'all think about the Dylan Aguilar and Hayden
Dylan
Breyer fight?
Aguilar, I'm not surprised. You know, I mean, he's a beast. He's a badass. So does Hayden Bryars, but
I don't know. I mean, it was a good scrap, but when I offered that fight, you know, Dylan was coming. We had Dylan matched with him, and then Dylan had just won
Yep.
the title in Tapper Scrap, and Hayden wanted to fight the guy who beat him, who Hayden had already beat.
Yeah.
I don't know if Hayden went into this fight thinking it was going to be different. Maybe, but Dylan showed up. You know, I mean, he's a gamer too, and he's always ready to go. And he's already hit me up, and I'm trying to find somebody for him
Yeah.
to fight in October.
could have
Man,
gone
you
either
can-
way. Split decision.
You can never look past what you got in front of you. You know, thinking because you never know. But yeah, it was super close. I mean, somebody
Yeah.
could have gave people could have said, "Hey, Hayden really won that
Yeah.
fight." I'm not gonna argue with the decision because it could have went either way.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. It was a
it's
super.
an
It was a
amateur
super close fight. The only thing I can say, negatively for Hayden, is that the judging in Texas has changed
Yeah.
over the last 6 months to a year, in that if you are taking somebody down, but you're not actively punching or looking for a submission. And
Right.
now, don't get me wrong, he took his back a few times. Like Hayden was doing a lot of things, but I don't think there was just enough damage done from those positions. And I think
But
that
those should still win the round, right?
they should, but now I think you're seeing a change in the judging. I think
And then not only that, like I know it's amateur, but when you're the champ, like you gotta really beat the champ. I mean,
Yeah.
shout out to Dylan. I'm not taking anything from him.
I mean,
he did what he needed to do, and
Yeah.
he got the title, and it is what it is.
I think when you look at the rounds, I think the first 2 rounds were probably Hayden's rounds.
Okay.
I think rounds 3, 4, and 5. 4 and 5, I
Who's
think
got
we're
the- you got the
pretty
scorecard?
we're pretty clearly to Dylan in my head, and I think round 3 was like a
Somebody
split.
gave every round to Dylan.
Yeah, Morales.
He
49-46, 48-47, 48-47.
Well, no, someone gave him. Yeah.
Michelle gave him the most rounds to Aguilar.
She gave him 4 rounds
Yeah,
to 1.
49-46 from Morales, 48-47 from Ryan Thompson, and 48-47 from Ray Zaragoza. I mean, what do you say to that? It doesn't get much closer.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the end of
And,
the day.
and these guys, their best days are ahead of them. I mean,
Yeah.
this is an amateur title fight. You
Right,
know,
for
their
sure.
pro
This shit don't
days
matter.
are right in front of them.
Hayden's gonna come out and finish somebody the next fight. I'll
Look,
tell you
as-
that.
Oh,
a
yeah. He
promotion,
always comes
for
back
sure.
with a chip on his shoulder.
as a promotion, we don't lose with either guy as champ. Like they're
not
both
at all.
phenomenal young fighters with a lot of fights ahead of them. Congratulations to the new champ, and I think Hayden, like you said, his next fight, I wouldn't want to be the guy that fights him.
And when those guys decide to go pro, if Fury is where they end up, then
Yeah.
we won.
Hey, how
'Cause I'd
about
love to have them both on roster as a pro.
what about Zeke Cates?
I know, man. That kid's-
Zeke Cates may have just stamped his name on like I need the next 145 title shot.
Yeah.
Like he's 5-1 now, and to finish
There's just so many guys in
the 145 division just stupid stacked.
Right.
Yeah.
This time next year, if these Amis that are in the 45 division decide to turn pro with all the featherweights we already have in the
Yeah.
pro division,
So
Jesus.
well, maybe last year, maybe a year and a half ago, at one point on Tapology, the top 25 45ers, we had 20 of the top 25.
We probably still do.
And I think when you start adding these young kids coming in now as well, that trend is not going to stop for
We
a while.
probably have 20 of 20 in the Amis.
Dude, if you think
on
about
Tapology
if you
as
think
well.
about it right now, if you look at our amateurs, you look at Kyle Todrank,
Yeah.
you look at Joe Hendershot,
Yeah.
you look at Brian James.
Yeah.
Now
Josh
you got to look at
Thomas.
Zeke Cates,
Yeah.
Josh Thomas.
Yeah.
That doesn't even mention some of the guys with like 2 wins, like a Devin
Devin,
Jones
yeah.
or a Chris Castillo with 2 wins. Like there's guys out there,
Aronde.
dude. Damian Aronde, like there's so many guys out there now that
Preston Collins.
the division's rough. The division's rough out there, man. So shout out to Preston Collins, man. Like that kid, that kid's a gamer. I like watching
Derek
him and his
Pierce.
team come out.
Straight out of Fury. Got that Fury tat.
What? Listen, I showed you my deja vu picture, right?
Yeah, I did. I saw
Dude,
that. Did
so
these guys see that?
I don't think I've seen this, so I'll send it to you afterwards. But
Did Rich have hair in the
Look
picture?
at this, guys. For
there's
those watching.
right here, Diego. Look at that. Is there superimposed? Diego,
Every
did you
time
get
I
that?
do this, he never puts it in.
So there was a guy when we were at
Go
Legacy.
ahead. How does he do when you catch him lying?
Ugh.
I don't know if I can
That's
put
how
that
you do it
graphic
every
up.
time. Look, Diego, you see that?
So there was,
I don't know.
when we were at Legacy, there was this guy named we called him Legacy Lou, and he actually turned his Facebook page to make it say Legacy
Lou?
Lou, and
Was it Lou
super
Savarese?
super nice guy. Was at all the shows, like literally everywhere we went, this dude was there, no matter
he live in
what
Houston?
state. No, he lived in like Dallas,
Okay.
and then he shows up, and I want to say it was Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he's got Legacy tattooed, like the exact font, everything tattooed on his
Hey,
forearm.
that's love, man. That's love.
Maybe he wanted a job, bro.
No, didn't want a job.
Andrea never gave him a fucking job?
No,
Damn it,
no,
Andrea.
Did they even comp him for the tattoo? I mean,
Nope.
Did they pay for it?
No, did you pay for
Give him
that?
ticket.
Damn. Did
So
they at least put him in the intro, like in the video or
so
something?
Eric sends me
Nothing?
the screenshot. And he's like, check out what Derek got, and I'm like, oh damn. Well, like he's got the Fuel Fury Fighting Championships underneath it. Like
That's love.
that's love, man. Hey,
Is he the first?
chase your dreams.
Yeah, I think
First
he's
that I
the
know
first,
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Shit.
Yeah, what do you say
Not
to
a lot
that,
to
man?
say.
Yeah, shit.
Well, John, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't even know. There you go. Like that. I don't even know what to say, man.
Hey, quickly to run through the rest.
Hey,
of
did he go to Kimura Tattoo to get that tattoo?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, if he didn't, he would have made a grave mistake.
Hit up,
Shout
hit
out
up
to
Ronnie
Ronnie
Byerly
Byerly.
for all of your Fury Fighting Championships tattoo needs. Hey, also shout out to Jonah Baldwin. Great win.
John A.
Is it John A?
That's John A. Baldwin.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Byron Wells.
John A. Devin Jones is looking for you.
I missed these next 2 fights.
My mind's
I
telling me
think-
There
no.
you go.
I think CJ Dismore was the guy with the guillotine, right?
Yeah, you put Lester's guy to sleep.
Dude, he's a big ass
He's a
155er
big
too.
55er, man.
That's a big kid. And then
Yeah.
Sean
44
Tillman.
seconds in the
Sean
first
Tillman
round.
come back and beating Oliver
Oliver,
Cortez.
yeah.
Yeah. Great card, man. It was like Galveston was fun, super fun in Galveston. Before that, what did we have? We had 82.
Fury FC 82. Trujillo versus Moran for the flyweight championship. Got a new flyweight champion, Paris Moran. 5-round war.
So that card didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to turn out.
I think a lot of us felt that way.
There was a few like it started off a barn burner. Then we got to the main
the
card.
undercard. The undercard, we thought, kind of set the tone.
Yeah.
There was a lot of finishes.
Yes.
I mean, you got to look at the first amateur fight was Andrew Lauterbach.
Yeah, exactly. With this
knocked old
crazy
boy out.
right hand.
Yeah, dropped him like 3 times. Then you had the girls.
Wendy Anderson with the submissions.
Finish. Decision.
Dude, crazy knockout from Terrence
Terrence
Chapman.
Chapman. What a Hey, so shout out to Justice. He gave
Yep.
us this
On the
guy
show.
right here on the
Yeah.
Fury Unleashed podcast.
Yes, he did. He said,
We
I have a
matched
guy
him.
for you.
Guy fell out, tried to rematch him, didn't happen. Finally, it stuck, and the dude gets him a KO. And he hit me up that he's coming back. So
Yeah.
I think we're looking at November maybe.
Yeah,
November,
after the fight,
December.
he was talking like, man, I didn't really get to show you what I can really do. It's like, well, damn.
Jeez, well, you almost murdered a man.
Yeah,
So-
can't
fun,
wait.
man.
Can't wait till the next one.
Victoria Anthony coming out. Hey, listen, she didn't have a lot of striking, but she didn't need it.
Yeah.
Her grappling, of course, is world class. And shout out to Dania Cruz. I almost got her with an armbar at one point. That was a fun fight back and forth. Zapata and Lee Charles was fun. And when I say here on the main card, also shout out to Martin Pineda, picking up that 205 title, keeping his undefeated streak alive. And talk about just one of the nicest dudes. Like, you ever been so happy for someone to win? Like, listen,
Yeah.
it was my guy that went against him. My guy lost. I never want to see my guy lose. But at the same point, I've never been happier for a guy to win against me because Martin is such a kind-hearted, nice
It's
kid.
nothing personal.
Not at all.
And
Not at
especially
all.
with somebody
Competition.
like him. Like, you can tell that he's just in there to do his job
Yeah.
real quick, and then he wants to be your friend right after.
You know, it's
Like,
funny. There's some coaches. I won't say their names right now, but there are some coaches in town where, like, when you beat or lose to them, like, your friendship gets kind of weird for a second there. It's weird. Like,
Say
I get it,
names.
we're all invested and we're all into it. But,
Say names.
But man, just shake hands. And
I
give
know
me a
who
hug.
it's not. It's not Drew or Tychek. Drew
That's
kind of
yeah.
has the same mentality as you, man.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, if your guy does that, man, I'm
We're
in
not-
that fashion, man. I'm happy for you.
I mean, we're not
talking about
relax.
him. He has great words to his fighters, man.
He has
Just,
too many words.
I know, but I mean, it was just inspiring.
Yeah.
I was motivated.
Yeah.
Just listening to what he was saying. It was like right after the weigh-ins. He was talking to a fighter. I mean, and I was like, man,
Yeah, if I was a fighter, I would want a coach like Drew or Tychek.
Yeah.
you know.
Hey, then we got to let's kick our pro card real quick. Gabby Echeverria picking up the win over Christian Lopez. Hey, Christian Lopez looked good on the feet, man. Your boy was letting them hands go. And Gabby reverted back to his wrestling and jiu-jitsu and, got him out of there. So
did what he had
smart.
to do to win.
Pena Alamo pick up the decision against Chris Solis. Great to see Chris Solis back in the cage.
Chris
Yeah,
looked good
taking on
too,
a much
man.
bigger opponent,
I
man. He
would-
held his own, didn't get
Never-
finished.
yeah,
I
never
hope we
stepped
see
back.
Chris down at 35 for his next
He's
fight.
fighting at 35 on October 22nd.
Yeah, he needs to get down there for that.
Yeah, he lost like 60 pounds to make it to 145, I heard.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt
That's-
it. Yeah, so kicking off our main card, dear Mr. Bruce Whitehead, you are a fucking badass. so Eric and I had talked. We had a bet with Bruce's coaches going into this fight.
His
And-
last fight was for us in Tulsa, right?
Yeah, it was Tulsa
That
versus
was the fight that
Taterman.
he referenced in his post-fight interview.
Yeah, so to be fair, it was a snooze fest.
Kind of was.
He-
and
he-
his coaches kind of took exception
His
to those
coaches took
comments.
exception to our- to our
rightfully so. It's
team.
their guy.
Yeah, 100%. Protect
But I
your
mean,
guy.
from that to what we saw in this last fight, I mean, come on.
Well, so what ended up happening, we dropped a fight from the main card, and at weigh-ins, we pulled one Mr. Copley over to the side and said, hey, we can decide who we're going to move up. We can move up Bruce, but we can't move him up if he's going to have another performance like he had in Tulsa. If he just come and lays on a guy again, like we just can't do that. And to his credit, Copley was like, I told him, I said, well, I don't know how the beard came into play. We're like, listen, if he comes out and he does the same thing, you got to shave your beard. And Copley was like, 1,000%, let's do it. He said, I guarantee you he won't have that performance again. And good Lord, I thought if you had told me that while Bruce was walking to the cage, a fire started and he had to get out of there and get to it, I'd have believed you. Because that dude ran across the cage in less than a minute, threw some bombs, ate a couple bombs, and
And
then
Ray shooting.
yes. When's the last time you saw Raymond Cardenas shoot in on somebody? Like, dude was throwing
I
bombs.
didn't even know Ray knew how to wrestle.
I don't think he did. I think he just like, holy shit.
Yeah, he knows.
Let me try this.
Yeah.
And I mean, great front choke, ninja choke, whatever you want to call it for Bruce Whitehead. Great submission, picking up the
And,
submission of the night
man,
there.
Ray's not a
26
easy fight
seconds.
for anybody.
26 seconds.
Like Ray
all
will
it
throw
took.
down
He's
with
a
you.
big
And
55er, 26 seconds.
26 seconds.
That was a
first
fire
round.
for sure.
guillotine. Fuck.
Fire for sure. And he called out Cody Steele
Yeah, I know.
at the end of the night.
Jesus.
Another stacked division.
Yeah.
But again, now you're talking about two black belts getting after it.
Yeah, but Cody, I mean, that's a different level guy. Like, I mean, Bruce can go in there and handle his own, but like,
Look, I'll say now, before the fight with Cardenas, I would have been like, I don't want to see the Whitehead fight versus.
But now, I mean,
Now-
after that performance, like,
now,
shit, why
listen,
not,
I already
you
know Bruce's ground game's legit. He's not scared to get in there and throw down. This could be the best test for Cody.
I was going to say, very well could
But
be.
also, as a promotion, damn, let's just keep Whitehead and Cody winning. Like, let's give him some fights
Yeah.
and keep
I
building
mean,
these guys
Cody's
up.
got some business to take care of.
He's got a tough fight with Chris Pacero coming
Well, I
up.
mean, he's got Macklin after that already,
Yeah.
contract sent and
Yeah.
stuff. So
And if things keep going for him like they've been going, then
if
I
Cody
mean,
beats Pacero and then Macklin, I mean, you're talking about 6-0 already.
Yeah.
He probably
6-0, 7-0.
Probably-
if he goes through
probably-
both of them.
probably
Yeah,
outta
7-0
here after
versus,
that,
I mean,
so.
Bruce
you
Whitehead.
got to compare the guys that each of them have seen too.
Right.
You know, who has stood
Yeah.
across from Cody, who has stood across.
Right.
I mean, you got to look what Cody went out there. Even it was an amateur, but Keith Ford was no slouch.
Cody's first fight was Jesse Gingler, who we all know
Jesse
is a
Gingler's
monster.
Yeah,
Like, your first pro fight's a guy with like 20 pro fights already.
I couldn't get nobody else for him.
It's
And
still
Gangler
hard.
went in
And-
there and stood his own too.
Yeah.
Like, caught
Yeah.
Cody at some
And then
guillotines.
that wrestler
and-
that Cody fought in San Antonio, his name escapes me, but he was like undefeated at the time too, or maybe one loss.
Amy?
No, it's pro.
As a pro?
I can see his face, but his name is. Damn it!
I guess I could look it up real quick. I don't remember who it was.
He fought.
Whenever you see him, go, oh yeah, that guy.
He fought Gangler. He fought Breakin' and Freeman. He fought. He just knocked out.
Golly,
Nick
the white dude, the
Whitehead.
wrestler guy.
Dude, I have no clue who you're talking about.
Man.
And now my computer won't find
He's
Cody
4.
Steele.
He's 4-0 right now, right?
Yeah, he's 4-0.
Cody? I thought he was at 5.
Oh, Sam Kilmer.
Sam
Oh,
Kilmer.
Sam Kilmer.
That's
That's
who I was
right.
trying to think of.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Kilmer's not
Sam.
an easy fight either.
No,
No.
that was a fucking challenge for him too, man.
Kilmer wants to fight Bruce Whitehead.
That's a good scrap.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Well, I think because Copley thinks he's just going to pull guard on him. Well, Bruce is a wrestler. Stop him from doing it.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to him after this. And
He fought. Did he pull guard on Cody?
yeah,
A lot.
repeatedly.
A
And what
lot.
did Cody
yeah.
do? Busted him.
Busted him up.
Yeah.
Kilmer's another guy that's been in there with some tough fucking dudes, man.
Yeah, dude.
Isaac Moreno and Cody Steele. I mean,
Yeah.
he's fought.
Dude, he also had Derek Adjade when he had only
Well,
had
that's what
4
I'm saying.
fights.
But like, just
Hey, Moreno called
and Solomon
Cody
Amadeo,
out,
dog.
man, in Edinburgh
He fought
last year.
Solomon, too.
I wanted to see that fight a long time ago, and it makes a little more sense now that Cody's got some experience under his belt.
Cody's too small for Isaac.
That fight's not. We're not
Just-
doing
yeah,
that.
it just doesn't make sense. Nah, I'd like to see Bruce
Boo.
Whitehead.
Hey, guys, I tried. I tried.
Hey, next up on the card, we had the fight of the night. That night, Josh Aliman and Tony Toro, the pro debut for Josh Aliman.
That's a great fight, man.
Second fight for Tony Toro.
Tony Toro looked like a fucking animal.
He looked like a completely different fighter.
Total different fighter than he looks at
Yeah.
135. Like, he's a smaller 45er,
Yeah.
but man, he didn't. It don't make it. He went out there and threw hands and moved
Yeah.
his head, and his boxing was great. Cardio was good.
Yeah, I mean, everything held up for him that, for us for game planning that I thought wouldn't hold up. I didn't think his cardio would hold up to the pace Aliman could put on.
Right.
But his body work was able to slow Aliman down like nobody has. And, props to Josh. He fought through everything to
Yeah.
keep going.
Tough
and
pro debut. Tough
and
fucking fight.
kept
Tough
landing
fight.
big shots of his own that Toro was eating.
Yeah. Sure.
So it was, as a coach, I couldn't ask for a better loss.
Right.
Like
You learned a lot from that.
you learned a lot in that fight. You learned that when you got to dig, man, you can dig. It's in there. It is deep in you, and
Yeah.
you got it. So shout out to Tony Toro, man.
It's
Great
just
fight.
something about those guys that just constantly come forward no matter what. Makes
Yeah.
you empty your gas tank.
Yeah, there were a couple of points where I thought Aliman might have been done, might have got finished, and he found it and kept pushing forward. I was super impressed with him in that loss even.
I'll let you guys do this Keenan Jackson one real quick.
Keenan and Smoke.
Shimon Smotritsky.
What do you think about Shimon?
He looked super impressive from
big.
what I remember.
He's a big dude, man. And Keenan's a big dude.
Yeah, so is Keenan. Man, I didn't know what to expect going into that one because I hadn't seen Shimon. Who's his management team?
He's with Iridium.
Is he with Iridium? That's what I thought.
I want to say he's either been a contender or he's been on.
Yeah, I kind
he's
of remember
been
you
in the
mentioning
UFC.
that he had gotten a look before maybe on Contender Series. 30-27 across the board. He looked dominant for 3 rounds, and there were a couple of points in that fight that I thought maybe he might have finished Keenan. Then to Keenan's credit, man, he kept pushing
kept on
forward. He
pushing.
kept coming at him. That was
Yeah,
another
he
war,
was-
man.
He fought Contender Series last year, August 2022. He lost
Yeah,
first round.
Who did he fight?
Billy Golf. So I mean, Shimon right now is 10-2. Now 10-2. Can you see him versus Isaac Moreno?
That'd be a great fight, I think, man.
I think so too.
Be a good test for both guys. Has Isaac fought anybody like that's gotten a look like at the UFC?
I mean, he's had, I think, Austin Jones. No, he was supposed to fight Austin.
Yeah, that one fell off.
He was supposed to fight Austin.
Yeah, for whatever reason I can't remember. But
I mean, Keenan really was probably one of his toughest ones.
Yeah.
He fought
So-
Keenan, Sam Kilmer.
yeah, I'd
This
like
guy
to
might
see
be
it. I think it'd be a great matchup for Isaac.
might be a
good
double
challenge
step
for him.
up. I think Isaac should probably have one more before
Yeah,
taking a fight like this. Because you got to think, Isaac and Jacoby Smith are kind of sitting hand in hand right now. You
Yeah.
know, similar records, and makes a lot of sense to possibly put those two guys together.
And
But
I was gonna say a couple more fights, man. Maybe Jacoby Smith versus Isaac Moreno.
yeah,
That looks good on paper, man.
Jacoby Smith fighting in Tulsa coming up.
Damn, that's just like a little over a week away.
Yeah.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Brian Grinnell. Brian's first fight. Brian's first fight with us.
Yeah.
I think he's got like 16 fights though. I think the dude's 8-8.
Be a good test for Jacoby.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like these younger prospect guys with 5-0, 6-0 records, undefeated records. You're not getting a lot of other guys with similar records to them wanting to fight them because they don't want to take that chance and get that loss, their first loss. You know,
That's what a lot of guys are. I don't say afraid of, but that's what a lot of them,
So
you
you
know,
gotta
trying to
find-
avoid. You know,
you
That's-
got to find a vet, somebody that's got a shit ton of fights.
Yeah, you got to make coaches happy, and they got to be
Yeah.
comfortable with the matchup and all that.
It's got to make sense for those guys. So
Right.
that's what we do when we find guys. Obviously, you can look at Jacoby's last fight was Austin Jones, another
Yeah.
guy with 15 fights. So he's almost fighting somebody similar.
Indeed.
But when you beat guys like that, it raises your stock a little bit. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Beating guys with 15 plus fights.
Yeah, undoubtedly, man.
What you over here looking at, Diego? Turn that Pornhub off. Come on, man.
And, up next, we had Shojin Mickey taking on H-Town's favorite flyweight, the little animal, Jacob Silva, in a 3-round war.
Jacob.
I was almost surprised not to see Jacob knock somebody out. He's been finishing people, over the last few fights. But that was a good fight, man.
Jacob's never in a boring fight. If it's up to him,
Yeah.
You get somebody that's going to hug him for 3 rounds. But Shojin seemed like a gamer.
Yeah, I was going to say, he seemed like a gamer. He stood and
Ready
threw
to go.
hands with him. They ended up going 3 rounds, and Silva gets the decision in that one, 30-27 across the board.
Shojin with how many fights does he have now?
Oh, dude, he's
He
got
had 18 before this one,
Yeah.
so he's 9-10 now.
Jacobs how many fights in his pro career now?
He's 11-9
20 fights.
after that. Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man.
like to see him get a
still-
couple of big paydays. I love Jacob Silva, and I know he's always down to scrap, and he never has a problem making weight. He's always like 125, like right on the money. But man, he's getting up there. I've said it before on the podcast. Every Jacob Silva fight that we get at this point, man, I just kind of look at it as like icing on the cake, like a bonus or something, man. Like I don't think he's got a whole lot of these left in him. He's getting up there.
It's guys like Jacob Silva I'd love to see get a big payday somewhere.
Same here, man.
Macario. He's
Yeah, Macario's another one.
Macario is never in a boring fight.
Yeah.
Ever. He's never in a boring fight.
And they're great fighters, but their records just end up in a place where we can't send them to the big show
because they don't
or
fight.
their age. I mean,
They don't think about, I got to fight safe just so I can win. They're
Yeah.
always hunting for that finish.
Yes.
And, appeasing the promoter and appeasing the crowd.
Yeah.
I think more
very
is
selfless.
more of animalistic, more of just a reflex nature, just kicking in.
Yeah,
You
maybe
just
they've
wanna
built
kill your
it.
instinct,
They've built that habit at this point,
you know?
probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I got hit. I'm gonna hit you
Yeah,
3 more
right.
times.
Yeah, Jacob Silva, I mean, from his first fight, has fought the same way. Like, I remember him and Joe Trevino at the House of Blues.
Yeah.
Like, his first fight ever, and he's never changed his style,
It
man.
was
Like,
funny.
he just got better.
Joe Trevino was at weigh-ins. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And we called Jacob Silva up, and Joe Trevino's the only one in the crowd booing. Boo.
I love that dude. Joe Trevino's a character, man. He's hilarious.
That kid could have made it too, man.
Oh, yeah. He was super talented.
Super talented. I think he was undefeated, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he never pro debuted.
I think he was undefeated. I don't think he ever had a pro debut. I think he defended
talented kid,
I think he defended the 25 belt once and then was done.
That was a wrap.
Listen, talk about kids. Jonathan Davis is a man.
Yeah, our co-main event, Luis Garule taking on the gentleman Jonathan Davis.
Yeah, very impressive.
What
I
a
was
fight,
impressed
man.
by J-Boy.
Yeah, he hung in there all 3 rounds. It was a war.
I was impressed with Luis, obviously, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
He went up a weight class. People don't understand. Luis has been fighting out of his weight class.
He's been
Because
fighting
can't
out of his
get
weight
somebody to
class,
fight him at 25.
but also in this one, he fought a guy that we all thought should still be at 25.
Right.
So it wasn't so
Up until I saw them, really, because Jonathan towered over him.
he towered over him. I don't want to say shocked because listen, we all know Jonathan Davis is very good, but no one's got out of the second round with Luis, and only one person got out of the first round with Luis Garule so far
This is the first time Luis has seen scorecards.
ever.
30-26, 30-27, 30-27. Luis Garule. Unanimous decision.
Luis is on.
I mean,
his
Jonathan didn't win any round, but he definitely had his moments. He had
Yeah.
his moments in the fight where he showed that, man, he belongs at 35.
He belongs there,
Like
man.
he's got his man strength now, and the biggest thing for him is I don't want to see him wait so long to get back in the cage.
Man, I want to see him fight Cameron Smotherman.
Yeah,
Cameron needs
I
to go
like
to
that.
25.
He's not.
He needs to go to 25.
I know he does. I'd like Cameron Smotherman to go to 25, but he's not.
I feel like he's kind of in that same boat like we were talking about earlier with Cameron Graves. It's like he's so lean, how does he get to 125? But, you know, we also know Cam. We love Cam. He loves tacos. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you just don't eat tacos for a couple of weeks.
Hey, look,
You know,
he's one of my
eat some
favorite-
cans of tuna or something.
He's one of my favorite guys on the roster, not just
Yeah.
to watch fight, but just as a person. Like he's a great guy. You know, I'm sure him and his coaches and his team have thought about it and put it together. And maybe from an outsider, from not being a part of his team, you know, I don't know the whole full detail of why he's not doesn't go to 25. But look, he's had a lot of success at 35 too. It's not like he hasn't been this.
It's
great
just another
35er.
level. When you get to the UFC, you got bigger guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
And
got
those
guys
dudes are
cutting
cracking,
20
man.
pounds to make
Yeah.
135, and Cam's walking around maybe 140.
But maybe he looks at Adrian and says, feels like he walks around about the same weight as Adrian.
Maybe.
And Adrian goes in there and handles business. So
Maybe.
wherever he's comfortable, man, I'm going to support him. All I can do is offer my advice.
Yeah.
And if I feel like 25 is where you should be, I'm going to tell you. And if you feel like that's not what you want to do, then I'm going to find you the best fight I can at 35.
Yeah.
And then we finished the night off crowning a new 125-pound champ, and that is Paris Moran.
Paris Moran.
Paris Moran,
What a fun
split
fight.
decision. Yeah, it was, man. And that was another one that could have gone either way. Dude, Alberto Trujillo has no other gear but forward.
That's
Like,
it.
dude, that guy's like a pit bull, man.
And he comes in there talking and shit, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Throwing and talking.
In those later rounds, it's like he's got another gear that kicks in. You know,
Yeah.
he starts talking
overdrive.
shit. Yes, and the punches go faster and harder. Like, dude, where did that come from? You know, but
It's supposed to be slowing down.
You know,
He's-
the-
cocaine, bitch. I don't know.
The-
Dude. Yeah, he's but like those later rounds, man, he was throwing heavy hands and he wasn't
Yeah.
backing down at all, man. He challenged Paris.
You know, the only knock you can have on Paris's performance is one that's really hard to pull off. Listen, he didn't finish Alberto Trujillo, which
Right.
who has?
Who has,
Right,
yeah.
like the dude's a tank. So, but I mean, we both know that when you talk to Mick, you know, Mick wants finishes.
Yeah.
Mick wants. He doesn't care the weight class. He really doesn't care too much about the overall, like the number of fights in the
Right.
record. Are you finishing?
getting
If you've had
finishes.
6 fights, do you have 5 finishes?
Yeah.
That's when you line up the 25ers, and anybody that's going to stand next to Luis Garule, you're going to have a hard time making a statement as to why you deserve to go before he does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, the belt means a lot. It does.
Yeah.
But the belt means even more when you're finishing guys. So you got to think Luis Garule is 6-0 with 5 finishes.
You know, the hard part for Paris now, I feel, is that he doesn't get any easier fights now. He's the
Yeah.
champ.
Yep.
Luis is asking for that fight already.
Yeah.
Wants a rematch for the belt.
Garule?
Yeah. What do you?
No,
No,
he
he's asking
wants
he's
to fight
asking for
Paris.
Paris.
Let's go.
He's asking for Paris.
I think if Paris Moran can put together one, maybe 2 good finishes, like another highlight, like he had against Solis. I think he could get that. That's the only thing keeping him from going up right now. Now, that's not to say that he couldn't get a call up as a late
Right,
replacement.
right.
He couldn't get a contender shot next
Is he
year.
9-2 now or 8-2?
He's got the record. I think he's 9-2.
Who are we talking about?
Paris?
Paris.
Yeah, 9-2.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, see.
9-2.
I
solid
think he
record.
needs 2 finishes.
I agree.
11-2 with his last 2 fights coming by finish. I think that should do it, man.
Would
Yeah.
that be like an automatic
No,
UFC?
there's
entry,
never-
or you
No,
could-
it's
no,
never
no, I'm
automatic,
not saying.
yeah.
I'm not saying automatic, but I'm just saying is that
He needs a
is
couple
that
of finishes.
That would
is it
give
as a
ticket
defending
to go-
champion, a
to
couple
go
of
into a
finishes
UFC
would go
prelims?
along with
that
a
would
punch in
give
that
me
ticket.
an argument.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
Right.
Yep, yep.
That gives me an argument to pick up the phone and be like, man, Mick, look at this guy.
Because like right
Because
now,
I can't really argue
Right
because I already
now-
know the response.
exactly.
So-
what are his finishes?
I don't have no ammo. I got to have some ammo.
Yeah, there is no there's no guaranteed way of
No,
doing it
right,
anymore.
right.
You know what? Someone could come through and have another Josh Van run,
It don't
and
mean
that
he's going.
doesn't mean you're going. That doesn't mean you're
Everything's
going.
gotta
at that
align,
young
man.
record.
Right.
It's all gotta
Everything's
align.
Timing matters.
You gotta be willing to take that last minute fight.
Right.
You know, like Van didn't hop in with a full camp. He hopped in on a late replacement card, and performed. And so like there's a lot of things that still have to line up. Now the path is clearer than it's ever been. Win our amateur title, win our pro title. You're setting yourself up for going to the UFC if you have finished people along the way. They
Performed.
don't. want to see a decision. Like they're not impressed by a decision. You can have an all-out. Sadly, you can have an all-out crazy banger war, but if you don't finish the guy in that war, like if you go back and look at Vergara and Silva, crazy fight, amazing fight. Vergara finished that fight.
Yeah,
Vergara finished that fight,
and he was lucky that Mick was right there.
Lucky, yeah.
Because Mick offered him that contender series spot right
And
after the fight.
and probably the most insane crowd we've ever had. At one time.
I recall that we were supposed to be at like 60% capacity or 70%. And Mick's like, hey, this is 70% capacity. I said, yeah. He's like, bullshit. I was like, no, it is. It really is. He's like, bullshit.
It's listen, at that time, that day it was 60%.
It was 70%. Yeah,
we're
man.
good.
That's what it was.
69.9.
We are listen. The
said.
run we're on right now with shows and talent, and it's been an absolute like just banger. Every week is just a banger, and we get a bit of relief this weekend by having a crazy Submission Hunter Pro card in Edinburgh.
Right.
It's not like even we got this big break.
No.
So amazing cards coming up. Tulsa is going to be so much fun, dude. And hopefully we can break down Tulsa. Are we going to record in Edinburgh?
I'm down. I mean, we'll
Podcast?
be there, right? Saturday night. Why not?
Why not?
You want to record and live from
I'm
walk-ons
there.
or the
I'm
hotel?
Walk-ons is kind of loud.
Yeah.
at the hotel?
If we do it like at walk-ons or somewhere like that, then I mean we got crowd
Y'all
noise
want
to
to bring
factor
Carlos
in.
on?
Diego?
Fajeda?
Yeah.
Does he drink?
Yeah, he drinks.
I was thinking translators, but I like this.
He speaks good English.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
He does. I like Carlos.
Bring Carlos Diego
It's
on.
about the biggest smile you can get on a person. Like,
We've never seen him full of howler
Yeah.
or live oak vodka.
we might need a translator then.
Yeah, maybe. I'll do it.
You got? Oh yeah, yeah. There's nothing better than staff starts talking to Eric and he's just like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'll just say yeah.
yeah.
Your name's Garcia. You know this.
Yeah, for sure. Let me
I
find
disagree.
something else.
I disagree.
9/17 Tulsa's coming up. That's going to be another banger of a card. Julius Holmes and Jerry McLaughlin headlining that card. Tons of prospects on that card. Man, Nick Piccinini taking on Vic Gonzalez. Going to be a great fight. Jacoby is back on the card. Crazy. Tracy Reeder. This card's, again, stacked full of talent.
Myron Dennis.
Oh, the Dennis brothers.
Austin Green.
Dude, this is a crazy card.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
a
Austin
crazy
Green's
good card.
back?
Yeah.
Austin's fighting tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
So, and then Myron's fighting Marcus Gamble.
Yep.
The card's loaded, man.
It's
Like, it's a prospect-filled card. There's maybe about 5 or 6 locals.
yeah.
But we are at a point in Fury's time where you're not going to just depend on local guys to fill the seats anymore.
Right.
Like we're building talent.
Yeah.
Like these dudes, you're looking at some guys that are 6-0 versus 5-1, and 6-0 Jacoby versus 6-6, and Piccinini's 4-0 already.
Yep.
Like prospects.
I'm looking forward to seeing that Piccinini Vic
Yeah, me too,
Gonzalez
man.
fight, man.
Me
Vic
too.
is already doing his media work.
Yeah.
Your
You know,
boy,
get some eyes on him.
Hey, your boy Vic out there doing the Lord's
Yeah.
work with the promos.
Vic's
Hey.
got the biggest balls.
Hey, nobody
and
wanted to
he's
fight
on
him.
he's on a nice little run right
Four
now.
fight
man.
win
Four fight
streak.
win streak. I mean, he kind of
Yeah.
started off, a little rough patch there, but he's put together some impressive wins, and now
Well, I'll
he's
tell
got
you this: if he finishes this guy,
he's got like a top shelf prospect in front of
Yeah.
him. If he wins this fight, I mean, his name's in that
So
conversation.
we-
we have to start talking about Vic Gonzalez possibly.
he shit'll go
getting
viral.
a look.
If
Yeah,
Vic
you
wins
know,
this
for-
fight, he's going viral.
As a coach and as a team, like we look back and risk reward, right? And like the risk is you go out there and you get starched on Fight Pass. Okay, and then what? It's okay. No big deal.
That's the fight
Or,
game, right?
Dude, you go out there and you win. Number one, you went out there going to somebody that nobody wanted to fight. How many guys did we contact fight Nick?
Too many.
Nobody wants to
Too
fight
many.
Nick. You go out there, if he submits Piccinini, like Vic, dude, hang
he
on
knocks him
because the
out?
right, dude.
What if he knocks him out?
I'm gonna wonder what happened.
Yeah, same here. I don't know about that,
Yeah.
man. I
Hey,
don't know.
listen, if he knocks him
when
out,
did
be
he
like,
start
Nick,
doing
how much
that?
he pay you?
Yeah, yeah.
What's he pay you,
Hey,
Nick?
listen, again,
But hey, man, I mean, if he's able to take Piccinini's back,
You never know.
you never know.
there's listen, Vic has got a nasty ground game.
Yep.
Now he's going against one hell massive size wrestler. Like he's a big 25er.
Yeah.
That's
That's
like Rich trying to submit Brock Lesnar on top of him.
pretty much. like
Yeah.
all the
Great
cards
comparison.
are stacked against Vic. But I can tell you right now, if I'm going to throw somebody in there to gamble, I'm gonna take a shot at Vic. Like your boy's gonna give it everything he's got. He's gonna make that walk. He's gonna run his mouth. He's gonna wear
And
his fanny
it's
pack.
not like he's never faced somebody like, I mean, when he fought Eddie.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that Eddie Friday fight. You know, he
And what did he do? He came back and popped off four
four
wins.
in a row. Three
So,
of them first round
come
finishes.
on, man. I
like
mean-
he is a good guy to take on the weight of this. As you saw in his interview, first thing he's already running his mouth about wrestlers, which is hilarious to me. If you know Vic's background, that's hilarious. Like Vic was a wrestler, man. Like he wrestled in high school. He's making fun of wrestlers. Yeah, because he wants you to talk. And you know what? It's working.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe he'll get pitching and he's so riled up he comes out there and makes a mistake and leaves his neck out. And if you do, Vic's gonna put you to sleep. That's all there is.
It's going to be fun.
I could see it. It's a possibility.
Hopefully.
It's going to be fun.
Hey, we got anything else?
Man, I think we kind of hit on all the
good. We
strong
got it,
points.
man.
Everything we got going on, everything we got coming up.
Shout out to Bruce Whitehead.
Shout out to Bruce Whitehead, man.
Shout out to Live Oak Texas Vodka. They were down there at Galveston with us,
Damn.
man.
Make sure you follow all of our amazing sponsors. Live Oak Vodka.
At
Giving away
Live
some
Oak
shirts.
Vodka, man. They were giving out free shirts at their tent they had set up down there.
Tasting. They
They're
were doing a
legit,
free
man.
tasting.
Yeah, I mean, who else is doing that?
I missed that. Dang.
Hey, y'all see the dude that got thrown out by the cops?
Yeah.
I did.
You're welcome.
He was drinking that house vodka, man. If he would have been drinking Live Oak, he probably would have still been in the game.
Like they threw him out like he would get thrown out the club. I seen a
Yeah.
video.
Oh yeah.
And he got like tossed out and landed on his butt.
Like-
and he looked up, then they grabbed him by the neck.
Like Jazzy Jeff on
Yeah.
Fresh Prince.
Yeah, bro.
You gotta send that to me.
Bro, they threw his ass out. Big old
Yeah.
dude. The big dude. Who's the big dude? That's your cop friend?
Yeah, that guy was asking for it, man.
So listen, the guy jumped the rail, pushed the ring card girls out of the way,
Ooh,
and then sat down.
I didn't know that.
And then at first they just let him go back, and that's when I left where I was at. Walked over and said, "No, dude, he's got to go.
You gotta go,
And your
dude.
big boy went, "No problem." And he grabbed him and started walking him out. And this dude, I was like, "You
The
ain't got
whole
no
time.
shot, homie. I don't know why
They
you."
didn't even open the doors. He threw him through the doors.
I gotta see this video.
Bro, he threw him through the doors, and the dude like falls face first and then rolls over on
allegedly,
his butt.
allegedly threw him through the
And
door.
then they picked him up.
I didn't see that.
And he's still talking. The dude's still running his mouth, trying to pull the cop's hands off of him and shit. And he like just turns his body and grabs his neck and says, "Get out of here."
I saw like as they were going through the crowd, the guy like kept trying to turn around and plead his case, and
Nah, it's too late.
It wasn't.
It's
It
too
wasn't
late.
happening.
There's no
It's too
case
late.
for crossing
Yeah.
our. Hey, listen,
Nah.
if you cross our barriers, you're gone.
Yeah,
That's
and I
all there
will
is to
say,
it.
man, there was a huge group of guys kind of near where that guy got thrown out.
Yeah.
And before the main event decision,
Yeah.
I stopped by. There's like, hey, guys, man, I need y'all's help. Y'all aren't going to try to hop this rail regardless of what happens, right? And they were all super cool.
Yeah.
They were really, really rowdy, so I was kind of worried. I don't know how much, alcohol was flowing, but they were all super cool, super so, hey, dude, we got you. Don't worry, man. No. We're just having fun.
Each section, there was two like super rowdy sections.
Yeah.
And each section had one or two guys in the front who were going, no, guys, get back,
Yeah.
get back.
So hey, props to the crowd
Yeah.
down at Galveston, having a ton of fun, partying with Live Oak Vodka, but responsibly. They weren't going too crazy. Just one knucklehead in the whole
Great
group.
Hey guys,
I'll
make sure
take
you
it,
check
man.
out all of our amazing sponsors, onlyfans.com/furyfighting. Make sure you go to get your Howlerhead whiskey, your Live Oak vodka, grab your private label bags, go get your tattoo over at Kimura Tattoo
And if
Company.
Diego wore underwear, he'd be wearing sheath underwear
We're
right
wearing
would.
now.
some sheath underwear right now.
I don't wear underwear.
TexCon, make sure you check them out for all your
Irish
Yeah,
concrete
the
services.
largest concrete service in Texas, TexCon. Proud new Fury sponsor. Be sure to check them out.
Hey, and get your UFC Fight Pass subscription, guys. Like, what are you doing? You're missing out. You're missing out on all the
We
fun.
got some banger cards
Yeah,
on
man.
Fight Pass. Go back and
Yes.
pull up the Fury
Oh,
FC
yeah,
library, man.
Those
We've got
past
40
events.
plus already on there.
It's amazing.
That's crazy.
Over
man.
40.
It's amazing.
Over
hey,
40.
spend
They
your
only
weekend.
wanted 6 events per year from you, or 10,
we're 3
and
years
we've
in, we
like
got over 40.
quadrupled that.
Yeah, there's more. There's more coming, man. The
More
Fury
coming.
ride is just starting. All right, Wayne, let's do it.
Hey guys, the time for talk is over. This has been Fury Unleashed.
Ka, ka, ka.
I don't know.
And now, Houston, Texas, make some noise because the time for talk is over. It's time to unleash the Fury.